back to Musician Loves Honey, and this is Maria the musician, and this is the honey
this
Kevon.
is the musician person.
And we're talking about nosy,
well,
this person.
Well, I'm very nosy. You're the nosy one, but we'll get into that. Before we get into our theme, we want to invite our next guest. This is, please say your name.
Patrice Luciano.
And what do you do, my dear?
I'm a singer-songwriter of country music from Reno, Sparks, Nevada.
There you go. And of course, to her lovely left, please say your name, sir.
Jeff Krajnak from Las Vegas. I'm a drummer and got my own band, Fleeting Shadows, going right now, and a few other things.
Well, all right. Welcome, guys, to the show. Thank you both
so much
for making the time.
Let me do the first question.
Why? You do a whole bunch of stuff.
Of course.
Why?
Because you don't do anything.
I do plenty.
You just sit back in your ass and... Anyways, Patrice, thank you so much for flying from Reno. See, we have guests here.
I know we have guests here.
Really nice.
Do you see how she is? See how it are? See, and then you're going to go like this with the glasses, trying to get like the binocular things going. See, that's how you feel about it?
No, I love my eyeglasses.
I do too, because it's very porntastic. I think it's beautiful.
Thank you. Anyway, Patrice.
see, we did work that out loud, didn't we? All right, so go ahead.
So, what type of music do you play?
I play country music.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Why she did that. I had to give her her shine.
Now we're talking.
I had to give her her shine.
But I play everything too. So I play rock and roll. I play pop. I play R&B sometimes.
Sometimes.
But yes,
She's such a Grinch. Such a Grinch. Right. And what style of music do you play, Jeff?
We play heavy metal.
Play metal?
Metal, new metal.
Like a Bon Jovi kind of style?
What?
No. Heavier than that.
No. And then she wondered why I call her old. That statement says plenty.
Josh.
I'm just saying.
He might be living on a prayer. You don't know.
Maybe it's not your show. It's actually your show today.
Oh, you noticed that finally too, huh? Oh, what a nice surprise. Thank you. Right. So anyway, I will ask, of course, the lady first. What got you going into music? What got you going into what you do?
Well, I actually started singing when I was like 5 years old, and I would do rodeos and national anthems, and actually my second grade music teacher told my mom, don't ever let her stop singing, and so I just kind of did my thing, and then about 7 or 8 years ago, I started working like hardcore in this Irish pub, and where I was booking all the music there, and we have this acoustic jam called Acoustic Wonderland.
Okay.
And I started playing there, and they're like, oh my gosh, you sing, you play? I'm like, yeah, well, I just kind of, picked it up again. And then I formed my first band, out of players from an open jam.
Okay.
So yeah, we just play around town. I'm in a band, a country band now, Southern Cut.
Right.
And you just put out your song.
Yeah, and I've been recording Dirt Road Studios in Virginia Highlands and kind of close to Virginia City. I've been recording up there, and it's been amazing. I've been writing my own songs, and I actually recorded my first song 2 years ago. I'm a national recorded artist. In 2016, I put that out, and it got great feedback, so I just continued to do what I do.
That's amazing. That's, when you're putting your heart and your hard work into it, it's eventually it's getting big. But anyway, Jeff, so do you have songs or anything that you...
I have several published doings. I'm about to go on tour to fill in for a band with Mushroom Head.
Okay.
So that's going to be, 38 shows in 45 days, something like that.
Awesome.
So it's a legit tour from Michigan, wraps around here, Whiskey Go in LA, and then down to Texas and Arizona.
Yeah, by the way, I just noticed your hat. What is that?
Oh, that's the Vegas Knights.
Who are they? No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Were they?
Right. So, what got you into the style of music that you've gotten into now?
I would have to say that first Black Sabbath album. When I heard that, I was sold.
Right.
Because we sold our souls for rock and roll. Well, Black Sabbath got me.
Yeah.
Why you never start singing? You're in the military, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
he
you were.
has. He was
And why
military.
you never start singing country songs instead of rock and roll?
Not rock and roll, metal.
Metal, I mean.
Metal.
I listen to country. I really do. I listen to old country though. Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash,
Yeah.
Willie Nelson. But
No, she's not. No.
and my secret cliche closet one is Lady Gaga. I mean, I love Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
But you know,
right? Nothing wrong with
I'm from
liking Gaga.
Pantera.
Do you do hair act?
heavy
You know, their
guys.
hair act too? No, just kidding.
I don't think he's gonna be out like and all glammed out talking about just dance. You know, I don't think you'll hear him doing Bad Romance anytime soon.
No.
There's a great rock version of Bad Romance, actually.
Is there really?
Yeah, that Hailstorm does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a metal version.
Really? Okay.
Oh.
You gotta hook that up.
You know what? The only thing that was intriguing to me, and a person that I played with put me onto this, was he did Enter Sandman. It was on YouTube, but it was like a R&B, like funk band version of it.
Yes.
And I know the guy, and I was very impressed because he teaches drums, you know, for a living outside of us playing. And I was very impressed with his way of looking at things differently. I never saw that part of him. I was just like, good for you, buddy. What the hell, right? So
How did it get you to start playing?
Just one day I picked up a bass guitar and I started on that. Then I heard Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin and I was like, I'm playing drums. And I've been playing drums ever since. So.
Do you still play bass?
I still play bass. For my current band, Fleeting Shadows, I'm writing most of the material. My concept behind that band is I'm trying to get all combat vets.
Okay.
So we can play veteran gigs plus our own gigs. Fleeting Shadows is supposed to play, I think, January 20th at the Beauty Bar.
Right.
And I just lost a couple members, so now I'm re-gearing up. And I'm looking for veterans to come in.
We've all obviously dealt with that.
Oh yeah,
situation.
when you're in a band, personalities are four different people.
So let's bring that up as a question. As you go on with your music, and you know, and we know musicianship and dealing with musicians are very alphas. A lot of alphas trying to figure out who's going to lead this or give them their space to do it within what your vision is. How do you kind of weed that out, being in charge of your own music, of your own style, moving forward with what you do? And this is a question for both of you, obviously.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. You know, at first when I was, you know, started out in a band, it was very much like a democracy, like everybody chose, but then it's just too hard to do that, and most bands need direction.
Right.
And so like the second go around after I restructured, because I've restructured a couple times too with different musicians, and the second time around I just decided, if this is my one and only chance to do what I want to do, then I'm gonna produce it the way I hear it.
Right.
And I think all the guys in my band understand that, so we're like a family, and so they do the things that they know is gonna make us better.
Right.
And because they know that that's all I want is us to get to that next level. So it's easy when we go, no, you know, let's try this, or let's end it like this. And I take their suggestions because they've all been seasoned musicians and toured and done, you know, so that's how I do it. I just say that this is the way I want it this time, and I'm really pushing for it. And I don't, like, my guys probably don't, you know, they don't talk to me like, you're a diva.
What's the
You just tell us. But I actually, like, I think there's a vision and there's a reason that we do the things that we do. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the way you say, you know, we are family, because that's what social media shows is all about. Is we are family. Anybody who join us is a family.
Well, it's such a small community too, like the music community, especially in Reno Sparks.
Oh yes.
Everybody knows everybody
it's very
there,
small.
And so everybody, you know, we all feed off of each other. We all need each other to succeed. So I think, you know, having that, you know, being in a band, that's who I'm with when I'm not home with my family. So that's my working family. Yeah. So they get it.
And it grow, you know, the family.
Yeah, they get it. They totally get it.
Now, for Jeff, obviously, because you've had your vision on what you wanted to do, how did you kind of deal with that when people kind of didn't clash or have the same vision you are, rather personality-wise and musically?
Well, you're exactly right. Alpha males. We're all in the room, and you're trying. You got to live on these buses too, by the way. And you're in tight quarters. Sometimes we're in a van. It's just you got to come to a common ground.
Right.
Everyone's got to take their part. I took this project on, and I'm like, all right, you're gonna do your part. I'm gonna do my part. You do your part. Here's the sound I would like to achieve. Right. And once we all dialed in and agreed on a sound, then we move forward to the progression of the song. But the prior bands, when you got everyone in a room and you're going 8 different ways, it's impossible. I mean, you can play the best gigs in the world, but if you don't get along after the show, there's huge problems for you to move forward.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you have to learn to delegate, compromise. Sometimes in your own case, you have to compromise. Say, look, I have to be this person for the sake of the bigger picture. You know, and for some people, can't do that. You know, we've had musicians that was like they just had to have their point of view gone. It's like, dog, that's not going to work. You know. So I would like to ask you guys, what is it like for your creative process? And I'm going to ask Jeff this one first because we all have a different process on how we like to make our music. So what is your process like when you try to build the songs that you do? What do you hear first when you start crafting music?
I start crafting mine with my PTSD, actually. Being a combat vet in Iraq and Afghanistan, once I start getting triggered, music is my outlet. Right. I will sit down, play bass, I'll sit down, play drums, I'll record vocals, just whatever's messing with my head at that point. Right. I seem to feed off that. And a lot of our songs we're writing right now are geared towards, you know, fighting on, because a lot of us vets, you know, we're damaged, but we're not broken. Right. You know, we strive to live every day, we just get stuck in our shells. Well, I'm trying to break out of the shell, and being on that stage is breaking out of your shell, because
that's a big break out of your shell.
When you're looking out at that crowd, I mean.
By the way, I would like to thank you for your service, and I would like to shout out to our, to our people out there. Joseph Skoda is actually Air Force veteran, and to all the veterans out there, we have like veteran association, what do you call that, foundation. Okay. Do you remember that charity organization?
You tell me, honey. I'm trying. You put me on it.
No, you know that.
You tell me.
Anyways, yeah. So we actually support all the veterans. That's one of the charity organization that we are connected with social media shows.
Okay. Well, there you go. What branch were you part of, may I ask?
Navy.
Navy. How long did you serve?
I made it 15 years before I got med boarded out.
I see. Okay. All right, so wow, that's some deep stuff right there. And for this lovely lady here, when you start to hear stuff, what is your process? How does it start for you?
It's different for me. I kind of used a lot of the experiences in my life, you know, as country music is a story. Yes. And I didn't always have like the cookie cutter life that everybody kind of sees now. I was a single mom, and I went through a tough time. I was poor. Right. And so I just used that to drive me. Well, I was just telling him I was a veteran too. So
what did you serve?
I was in the Air Force, and I was medical in the Air Force.
Thank you for your service as well.
Yeah.
Wow, we got. Hey Joe, look at this. We have veterans here.
You know what? That's actually like joining the military and then coming back home is what.
It's a jarring situation, right?
Actually, it helped me because I was so broken, and then I was able to come home and do the things I did, and so I just used my life experiences of being by myself with my kids, and trials and tribulations, and breakups, of course, because that's the best country music is the breakups or the love story.
It's like I'm a Kia's car,
right? I mean, Carrie Underwood really helped me through all this.
I'm sure she did.
No, so I kind of just. But it's also different for me because I don't just hear lyrics. I always write music first, which is like opposite of what most people do. So I write all my music and then I go, okay, now what do I want to talk about?
That's weird because like for me, I hear the music, but I'm one of the many musicians that don't, know charts and notations and things like that.
No, I think you actually look at other people's experience and then you write them.
No, actually
They're
I don't.
micro movies.
No, actually, I don't. No, actually, I don't do that at all.
Yeah, he wrote a music that I hated so far.
No, I wrote a song. And the song that she's referring to, which fits her perfectly, by the way.
No.
Right. Yes, it does. Yes,
it's
it
the
does.
opposite of me.
Oh, it's definitely au contraire, mon frère. All right, au contraire, mon frère. But this is the thing. What I was thinking about the song, my brother actually was his beat that he gave to me. And what I say is, usually music will paint a picture for me. It'll usually make me feel, okay, what is it trying to say? What emotion does it come out of me? And based off of that, that's where I start. Musically, when I hear music in my head, it's very strange because I have to actually record it and then actually, get the chord structure to that to start to formulate where I want to go. Right. And then from there, write out what that feeling was coming, emanating out of me.
It's different for me because I play guitar too, so like, I don't know, I call it noodling, so I kind of just... play around with different chords and then I figure it out and then I hear the music in my head and then I'm like, oh no, the drums should sound like this or, and I do that with my guys too. Like, hey, I want like 3 hits at the end or it's however I hear it,
Right.
So
I try to be very collaborative. Oh yeah, I know what she's saying. I try to be very collaborative just because like you said, with the other musicians and stuff you want to work with, they have other ideas and you want to make sure that's a collaboration. That's very big, obviously, in the studio because your idea is structure, is a foundation. Yeah. It's not what it's going to necessarily sound like when it's all said and done. But yes, she let me know we need to take a break. So
no, before I say that,
go ahead.
You're gonna hear her play on the fourth segment. By the way,
so we're gonna hear her song. And we're gonna have a little fun afterwards, if you'd be so kind. And you are, of course, involved in this if you like to be, because we love to have everyone come out and jam out with us. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and
before we go on that, I just want to attach a little bit about being nosy before we go.
That's easy. That's you.
No, you are the nosy one.
I'm not the nosy one because I'm busy doing my stuff. I don't have got time to be
this is
checking out people. I mean, I'm nosy with bikini pics on Instagram. I'm nosy about that, but who isn't?
Well, you see, we were actually debating about what is the difference of nosy and curiosity. I think what I think about this is for you to be curious, you have to be nosy.
You're saying it's the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. But then sometimes, it is the same thing because
I don't agree. All right, well, since we made it a panel question, let's take it to the panel, right? Let the panel decide, dun, 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 right? So,
well, I mean, my mom's always told me to mind my own business, so.
But that's nosy.
That is nosy.
Right now,
it's when you don't have to be so involved with something that really doesn't involve you. That's being nosy. When you're curious, I think that's when people allow you to. They let you in so that you can be curious, but when it really doesn't involve you, you're out.
I mean, because curiosity is more you inquire a little bit and then you kind of let it sit.
Everyone's nosy.
You know,
I don't know. I mean, I'll put it this way.
Come on.
No, I'll say
just admit it, honey.
No,
just admit
why would I admit that? Okay. Why would I admit that? No. What do you think, Jeff?
I keep to myself and mind my own damn business. And, to each of their
So he's saying that I'm neither curious nor nosy. Now, for the male perspective, if a man wanted to be curious in question, very lightly is okay. If you tried to be nosy, that would be like a charge.
Well, why don't you give us an example?
Well, easy. Easy. I mean, right. For instance,
I'm curious.
There you go. Bang. She's right in the car. She's right in the car, Jack. So this is the deal. We go, okay, guy says, let me ask a question. Very humbly, very simply, sparking conversation. Cool, right? Keeps it very breezy, keeps it very organic. but then it switches and he tries to get maybe a little more information, right? And everyone's different. So sometimes you ask a question and someone's like, you know what, I don't want to answer that. Why are you asking me so many questions? Blah, 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 blah. That's when it turns into the nosy part, even if you didn't intend on it being that way. You dig what I'm saying? Conversely, let's go from the female part, right? And social media is great for this, right? So, you know, guy's doing his thing, and she's like, oh, I got some time, what's he doing? So he goes to the timeline, starts liking about 10 things, goes to the Instagram, likes like a 10 thing, start commenting on stuff, getting a little personal. You're just like, what's going on with this girl right here, right? Trying to get all up in my beeswax, right? Now, that's what I mean about that.
So keep on following you is Nosey?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good.
That's right.
But isn't the follow button there for them to follow you?
Right. Well, listen, as far as fans are concerned, and we all agree on this, obviously, for as fans, that is great because we want
them to be nosy.
We want them to be nosy. We want at least to be curious about where we're going to be at next, at very least. But we also have to keep an eye on the ones that take it a little too far.
Well, then you need to censor your content. If you don't want people to be nosy, then you need to
censor anything.
And you know what? That's the hard.
I don't censor
part.
Much.
That is the hard part about social media is everybody puts everything on there, even like their dirtiest of dirty laundry.
Yeah, but
yes.
we all have. Obviously, we all put ourselves out on social media in one form or another. But there's always a piece of ourselves that we keep to ourselves.
You keep your drama for your mama.
There you go.
I love that.
Right?
I love it.
Right.
But anyways, we are running out on the third segment.
Oh, really? You noticed that too?
Oh, you know what? Shut the fuck up.
There you go. I like when she does that on camera, Jeff. I love when she does that on camera. I love that stuff. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have some more with these lovely guests right here. This is Musician Loves Honey. This is Maria and Kevon Tyree.
I am the musician and this is the honey.
She
and
is delusional. She's delusional.
Social media shows
is about branding opportunity.